My parents forced me to work in the family company from age 12 while my brother got to be a normal kid and went to college. Then Dad gave him the business I built with my own hands. The company was a commercial cleaning business, nothing glamorous. We cleaned office buildings, medical clinics, strip malls. My father started it when I was 7 with one van and a contract for 3 buildings. By the time I was 12, he had me working every weekend. I wasn't doing light stuff either. I ran floor buffers, restocked supply closets, cleaned bathrooms that would make most adults walk right back out. Every Saturday and Sunday from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. My brother Tyler is 2 years younger. He never worked a single shift, not one. When I asked Dad why, he said Tyler was different. Tyler needs to focus on school. Tyler has potential. Tyler's going places. I had a 3.8 GPA. Tyler had a 2.9. But I was the workhorse, so I stayed in the van. By 15, I was managing crews on school nights. By 17, I was handling invoicing and bidding on new contracts. I dropped out of 2 AP classes because I didn't have time to study. Dad told me it didn't matter because the business would be mine someday. You're the one who understands it. Your brother doesn't have the stomach for this kind of work. That sentence kept me going for years. Tyler went to state college, joined a frat, graduated with a business degree, and 0 practical experience. I stayed home and grew the company from 12 contracts to 47. I hired and trained every employee. I negotiated every deal. I built the client relationships that kept us profitable during 2 recessions. By 24, the company was pulling in $2.1 million a year. I was doing the work of a CEO without the title or the salary. Dad paid me $48,000 a year and told me to be grateful. Tyler came home at 25 with his degree and a girlfriend from a wealthy family. He worked in the office for 3 months, mostly answering phones and leaving early. He didn't know how to bid a contract. He couldn't name half our clients. He once asked me what a buffer was. On my 26th birthday, Dad called a meeting at the office. Just me, him, and Tyler. He slid a folder across the table. I'm retiring next year. I'm transferring full ownership of the company to Tyler. I stared at him. What? Tyler has the education and the business degree. He's the right person to take this forward. I built this company. You helped. But Tyler has the credentials to run it properly. I looked at Tyler. He wouldn't meet my eyes. He already knew. They'd had this conversation without me. They'd decided my future behind my back while I was out cleaning floors and closing deals. I stood up and walked out. I didn't slam the door. I didn't yell. I went home and sat in my living room until 2 a.m., thinking about 14 years of missed weekends, skipped proms, hands cracked from industrial chemicals, all for a company that was never going to be mine. The next morning, I typed a resignation letter. 2 sentences. I quit. Effective immediately. Dad called before lunch. You can't just leave. Who's going to run the cruise? Tyler. He has the credentials. That's not fair, and you know it. You don't get to talk to me about fair. I hung up. What happened next was predictable. Within 4 months, Tyler lost 8 contracts. He didn't know the clients' names, didn't return calls, sent crews to wrong buildings. The employees I'd trained started quitting because Tyler tried to micromanage things he didn't understand. He fired 2 senior crew leads for correcting his mistakes in front of a client. Revenue dropped 40% in 6 months. Dad came out of retirement to try to stabilize things, but he was 63 with a bad back and hadn't touched a floor buffer in years. He called me twice a week. I didn't pick up. Mom called too. Your father made a mistake. He knows that now. He wants to talk. Then he can talk to Tyler about it. She paused. Tyler's in over his head. He's talking about selling the whole thing. Let him sell. I started my own cleaning company 3 towns over. I took nothing from the family business. No clients, no employees, no equipment. I started with my truck and 1 contract for a dental office. Within a year, I had 19 contracts. Some of my old employees found me on their own and asked to come work for me. I hired every one of them. 2 of my former clients called me directly after Tyler botched their service agreements. I took those contracts too. By the time Tyler put the family business up for sale 14 months later, it was worth a third of what it had been when I left. I didn't buy it. Someone offered me the chance and I said no. Dad showed up at my office on a Wednesday afternoon. He looked 10 years older. I kept working. He left without a word.